One of the rarest unlocks in RuneScape is a little emote that you may have noticed before that's all the way at the bottom of your emotions tab. The Explore emote requires 600 beginner clue scrolls to be completed. Unless you're a Snowflake Iron Man account, getting 600 beginner clue scrolls really isn't necessary at all. It barely gives any benefit to anybody who's not stuck in the low level game. So how hard is it to get this emote? Well, let's find out. So here's today's challenge. The goal is to complete the beginner treasure trails in its entirety in less than 1 week. If the emote is not unlocked by the end of this week, I will be giving away 100 mil. If there's an item missing in the collection log, I will be giving away 1 bond per item. This challenge would be a little easy if I just bought the challenge outright using young implings. So I'm gonna do it by killing monsters instead. It's also worth mentioning that I already have 38 beginner clue scrolls completed. So we're just gonna pretend that that was part of day 1 and I'm just gonna start a little late into the day. And since I'm a man of maximum efficiency, I'm gonna go ahead and try to obtain my champion scrolls during this grind. This breaks down the pool of monsters to killing pretty much just goblins, hobgoblins, and giants, which each have their own advantages and disadvantages that I'll discuss as we go through this. Alright, so starting off here, day 1, I've kind of gone ahead and just put together an inventory that I could muster from just looking at the wiki. That should be good for completing beginner clue scrolls. And we're just gonna improvise and start with the goblins. I decided to start with goblins because it seems like they're gonna be the easiest and quickest route to obtaining these scrolls, especially since I brought the Fang with me. So I'm always going to be guaranteeing a killed goblin every 5 ticks. I've been here about 2 hours now. The rate seems to be kind of what I expected, about 10 scrolls per hour. So I'm looking at a 60-hour grind total. I've also gotten my first of the champion scrolls. Unfortunately, this I think is still probably going to be the fastest way to do this, and I probably need to pick up pace while we're early ahead in the week, because I remember how my 100-day challenge went. So I'm just going to be steady at the goblins for probably the rest of the day. About 6 hours in now, and I've been able to pick up the pace a little bit, pushing to 65 caskets. I'm not sure if that's just RNG or what, but I've also been kind of feeling out what's the fastest routes to get Charlie's tasks done. For example, it seems like my house in Prif is going to be one of the best ways to get trout. And also, I've already gotten another goblin scroll today. So, kind of wish I went to the hobgoblin so I could have maybe got lucky on that drop instead. I've made a discovery while doing Charlie's tasks. It seems that you can get multiple Charlie tasks back to back, so I'm hoping to record him in the act of doing so, and maybe, just maybe, there might even be what I'm calling the triple Charlie, where every single clue scroll step is a Charlie task. Alright, it's the end of the day now. I don't want to make this as a dramatic thing all the way at the end, so I'm going to be opening my caskets every day that I get throughout the day. So yeah, I decided for our first bank, we're going to be at one of the Falador banks, and we're just going to test our luck here. Wow, I did not expect I was gonna get 9 of the 16 slots filled on day 1, but here we are. I doubt the rest are gonna come this easily, so I'm expecting it to get a little harder when we're near the end. Today, I'm gonna play a little smarter than yesterday. Somehow I kind of forgot the cannon was a thing, which I figure is gonna be pretty big in this task in its entirety. So today I'm actually going to be setting up shop, and I've also tried to further optimize my inventory so that I can knock these clue scrolls out a little bit quicker than yesterday. I'm also just kind of experimenting on, well, I guess every little thing here while I can, just trying to see what the best cannon locations are and stuff like that. Yesterday I decided to check in at the 2-hour mark, so here we are today. As you can see, the cannon has been pretty helpful in boosting my numbers up to about 14 caskets an hour, and it's October, and I wanted to play with, you know, the effects in Rune Light, the lighting and the skybox and stuff, to make it a little spooky. I played with the brightness, and that just made it too hard to see, so I decided to make the skybox dark purple, and the grape soda river is just kind of a side effect of that. I'm sure the locals enjoy it though. It's been about 4-ish hours today, and the cannon has really been coming through. We're pushing up to 16 caskets an hour now, which is really exciting, making it seem like an actual possible task compared to yesterday. And there it was. We caught Charlie in the act. So all we need to do now is prove that the legendary Triple Charlie is real. And this was around the time when being at Goblins started to get weird. I had a few conversations with some randos who were walking by. They weren't very cash money about this grind. But today I was already up to 81 scrolls, and I'm far too deep to give up now. However, it was enough to make me want to go do some raiding with the boys, so that's where I ended up wrapping up day 2. We are here at one of my favorite banks in the game, the Cannabis Bank. Now let's see how the loot is. Wow, I almost forgot to show the collection log for the day. Coming in at 3 more slots. It makes it feel like we're gonna get all the collection log slots completed here, but I've still got a ways to go for 600 scrolls. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it. For some unknown reason, some of my footage got corrupted this morning, and for some other strange reasons, I brought my pet and just decided to keep him in my nearly full inventory, where having him walking around with me would have made it just a little easier to manage. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to make some headway at the Goblins today, and then finally swap over to Hobgoblins for just a bit to see how it goes. Oh god, this guy just walked over here and he's standing in front of the cannon. Is he gonna say something too? Oh no. Oh, okay. Bye. Alright, so I'm just finishing up with the Goblins and heading over to the Hobgoblins now. And as you can see, I got yet another Goblin Champion Scroll, and I'm really hoping that this luck just continues into the other Champion Scrolls that I can get, especially for the Hobgoblins, because I don't think they're going to be all that good considering their level and how many cannonballs they'll probably take each. It took me about 7 minutes to get my first clue scroll from one of these Hobgoblins, so I'm hoping it just kind of levels out. And here I am, finishing up our 3rd day. I was able to muster up about 22 more caskets from these Hobgoblins. But man, they are not fun in the slightest compared to just the Goblins. And today's bank will be the Gnome Stronghold Bank. So let's see how this goes. I knew I was going to lose my luck. I knew it, but at least I got one more slot done today. And there's still plenty of opportunity here with 4 more days to go. So today, since I'm continuing on with going to Hobgoblins this morning, I decided to get creative again with my inventory setup, especially since I'm going to be running by the bank every time I use the crafting cape to go back to the Hobgoblins. Oh no, I missed him. The Triple Charlie, it's there, but I didn't record it. Missing the Triple Charlie lowered morale quite intensely. There was no way. It took nearly 4 days just to get one, and I missed my opportunity. There was no way I would be able to capture him, and it was just a shame, really, to be able to have to suffer that fate. And then that's when 30 minutes later, I caught him in the act. The Triple Charlie is real. The pinnacle of greatness. The luckiest of comebacks. A true overcoming of insurmountable odds, only to realize, oh shit, I still need to go faster. After this casket, I decided it was time to move back to the Goblins, just to go ahead and push those numbers. Today was critical for rather getting a champion scroll or building momentum. I tried for 4 hours to get that champion scroll. It's not happening. So we're going back to building momentum. And then after 4 hours of being at the Goblins, it was time to suffer my fate and go back to the Hobgoblins. Because even though I did get a lot of clue scrolls, I was greedy for the champion scroll. Sometimes it feels like these cows that are accidentally just getting caught by the cannon are dropping more clues than these hobgoblins. Honestly, I'm kind of glad these bastards are settled up next to the crafting guild, stuck on their little dick-looking island surrounded by grape juice for all eternity. I've now hunted the hobgoblins for another 6 hours, or about 10 hours total today, to push the caskets number higher while praying for the champion scroll to show, but it hasn't showed itself yet. I'm getting at my limit with this, so I just need to call it. Let's wrap up for today. After a goblin-filled day, I felt it'd be right to go to the Dorgish Khan Bank with this whopping 129 caskets, a record by far. Anyways, let's see how it goes. So glad to have bumped that number up to almost 400 clue scrolls and only having 2 more things to collect in the collection log. It's looking very feasible. We're back at what I've decided to label Grape Cape, ready to set up shop for another exciting day of standing here begging for RNG to come through. So I've been here semi-AFKing for about 6 hours now. These hobgoblins were finally starting to cooperate with their drops for clue scrolls, but I think I just need to wrap up my champion scroll grind here for a while. I'm definitely going to go back to goblins for today, but I still need to try out giants before I run out of time. I've made it back to goblins, and this grind today has just been so nice, being able to partially AFK pretty much the whole day with the cannon. Honestly, with how easy it is, I'm surprised that not many people have the emote. Today has been very hands-off in comparison to the past few days. But fortunately, with 81 caskets today, I've still got a pretty good stack. Today, we're settling up at the Myths Guild Bank. Now let's see what happens. 123 more caskets to go, and I still need the bare feet and the sandwich lady hat. It all comes down to this, but I think I'm getting that emote for sure. Today I'm starting back off at the goblins just for a little bit so I can make sure for good everything will be done. Hopefully today, honestly. Oh, wow, that was a quick scroll. These goblins have just been giving handouts today. Even though there's 83 caskets left for me to get, I just decided to run over to the hobgoblins and see if the luck can keep on giving. Okay, it only took about 80 minutes and I'm burnt again. So I'm going to go ahead and move to the giant pit in Corinth and just see how this goes. So far, this has been very comparable to goblins. Although the goblins drop more clue scrolls upright, the giants also drop keys for Obor, which every time you defeat Obor, he'll give you another beginner clue scroll if you don't have one. So going for giants might actually be worth it and even better than goblins depending on your account goals. This is going especially smooth. I'm getting about 14 clue scrolls an hour, and that's not even including the giant keys. So I think I'm going to just get pretty close and then just settle it all with Obor. I made my way up to 118 caskets with 5 left. So I'm going to take 5 of those giant keys I got, hopefully get that club, and get my final caskets. I can't believe that I'm here a day early, but we did it. And of course, it would be Charlie who decides to give me the final casket. There is nothing more artistic than that. As if he finally deems me worthy for the thousands of GP of stuff I've given him. Here it is, at Land's End for the Journey's End, with 123 caskets. Now let's see if those final 2 collection log slots will show. $599 clue scrolls, 16 out of 16 uniques. All that is left is to open the final one and obtain the emote. However, this is an explore emote. I at least need to prove that I am an explorer. And there, I had done it. I climbed the highest of mountains in my best explorer's gear and used the emote before descending. After dealing with thousands and thousands of enemies, I was able to do it without giving anything away. By some miracle, I was able to go a whole week with goblins without even mentioning nuts, or goblins such as William Dafoe, Julia Fox, or even myself. Well, I guess until now at least. But overall, I would recommend this grind to anyone who wants to flex, or do it right before checking the chest to guarantee a purple anytime you finish a raid.
The One Piece is real!
Can we get much higher? So high.
It's a sick emote that realistically, if you just bought impling jars, could probably finish in under 25 hours, for just the price of about 50 mil, or you could spend almost double the amount of time like I did, and only have 5 goblin champion scrolls to show for it.